Good rising, we have another day. Good rising, hey, 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 hey. Good rising, we have another day. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, all right. Good rising. Um, Thank you for stopping by. Whenever you stop by, whether you're on the live right now or whether you catch the replay. Good rising to everybody. I hope you and your families are well wherever you are. This is a chronicle. I see. I am a seer. I always have been from birth. I have been a seer. And that's why, as a baby, I think, well, I was told that as once I started talking, because they say I started talking before I started walking, believe it or not. And, well, in this day and age, that is believable because, honey, these babies coming here now, hide your car keys, okay? But, uh, yeah, they said I started talking at about 8 months, which in this day and age may be late. But they said I was good for telling people to get. I don't know if they were getting on my nerves, different ones. But now, I think I was saying what I could say at the time, which now would be translated to shut the hell up, or you're a heifer, you're a baby calf. And you know it. You know it and I know it. You know it and I see it. All right. Anywho, I have always been a seer. I see in dreams, which many people do, or a lot of people do. I also see in my third eye um, I don't know, gifts. Everybody has gifts, okay? Um, the clairs, I have about three or four of them, okay? And I'm telling you from experience. I had a dream here recently, and I'm chronicling this, and I've told you why I chronicle. It's for personal reasons, for remembrance, and for a track record, and it's for people who come by here. Y'all, excuse me, I am just waking up. Who may come by here, who listening to my stories, it may help them in their life some kind of way, depending on what they're dealing with. I had a dream recently that I was in a familiar house. And over the course of my life, I've lived to different places. In this dream, there were two other people, one of whom it has crossed over. Okay. In this dream, there's a bar in the house. I was standing in the kitchen, and actually, all three of us were. Um, and I happened to look down, and there was a large snake at the foot of this bar area. And I alerted the other two people. I stood back. I alerted the other two people and told them what was going on. Now, the snake looked funny. It was a larger snake. but it looked like it was camouflaged. You know how uh, military people wear camouflage gear to mix in with the background? It looked like this is what this snake was trying to do. And another thing about it, even though, there was no grass or anything, it was in the house. Another thing about it, it looked like it had, I thought it looked like it was in some kind of a meshing, or maybe I don't know, like it was camouflage, but I think it was some of, I was being shown that it was trying to camouflage. It like it wanted to look like it was trapped or entangled, but it wasn't. It had something like that around it. Uh, and then here's the third thing. Yo, I'm not crazy. I have been a seer all my life, and maybe it's going to be other seers that understand. I'm laughing because now I realize that even though I was looking, and I said serpent for a reason. I googled this before I made this video. Go look up the difference between Google between a serpent and a snake. There's not technically a difference, and the technical term is snake, or the scientific term is snake. Serpent, Google told me, has more of a literal, not a literal, a what did they say? A mythical literary interpretation of m- maybe magical powers or something. So, looking at that, it confirmed something. I was looking at a serpent, but it also looked like an older man, because what I thought was mesh around the head of it looked actually looked like gray stubble, hair stubble, which signifies to me an older man. Okay, I alert the other two people that there's a snake over here under the bar, or by the bar. One figure comes around and picks the snake up and takes it over to the other person in the dream, the one that has crossed over. But as the person was picking up the snake and taking it over there to where that person was standing, because they were standing in like a kitchen area in the corner of the kitchen area by a vent, VENT. But as the person was taking the snake over to the person's crossed over, it looked like they were talking. And the way the person was holding the serpent, it looked like they were friends. Because I had to tell the person, you're not holding it by the head, so its head and mouth can't function. This person was kind of holding it like they were friends. I'm just saying. So, and it was given, in cartoons. I used to watch Scooby Doo and the Mystery Gang. I liked that show. And when Scooby and Shaggy and Velma and the gang would solve the mystery and find the culprit and take the mask off of the culprit would a lot of times say, "You meddling kids, foiled again." Foiled again is what this person and their friend the serpent looked like. Okay, so now I'm just telling you what I saw. The person gives the serpent to the one who's now crossed over, which lets me know that that person and the person has shown up for me in other occasions. Because when the person first crossed over, let me tell you this, I'm backtracking and I'm getting off at too many exits and I'm just waking up. So, but let me see if I can communicate clearly at 6 something in the morning where I am. When the person first crossed over, a piece after, I think I mentioned this before, my kitchen light had gone out, which had nothing to do with this person. It was just time for the light to be changed. So the repair people came and changed out to the light because it was track lighting that I was living in an apartment at the time, and they changed out the lighting. And so they did that, and the light was working fine. Well, after this person passed, they would mess with the kitchen light flickering, just letting me know they were still around. Okay. And actually, I asked the person, I told him, I said, I appreciate you letting me know you're around, but do please stop messing with my light. I just got to change. And they stopped. They stopped. Also, I had gone to bed and was dropping off into a sleep. Honey, uh, it's like a shock wave went through me and my bed. And when I woke up, I saw the person's, uh, what do you call it, shadow or silhouette on the wall. And I knew it was the person because this person's I could see the afro and the haircut that the person wore. And I was like, wow, it scared me because, like I said, a shock wave went through me and my bed. Now, that shock wave didn't hurt, it just scared me because I've had some shock waves that hurt, but that was for another reason. This is too much to tell, okay? I got a lot going on. Anyway, over the years of my life. All right, so this person, and then the person just recently came through this year, okay? And let me know that they are watching and beholding and they don't like what they see. And get this, I never met this person's mother, but apparently she don't like it either, what they're saying. So the blood related or not, they're on my side. Oh my. So this person is still here and that is friends with this serpent, this older man with the gray stubble. I don't even know if that's the case. I'm just telling you what I saw in the dream. Has a snake too. The one who is now crossed over, and the one that crossed over got rid of the snake, sent it out through a vent. So that lets me know, which I already knew, but it just confirms that this individual who is crossed over, and it's more than one that alerts me, but this one is watching, and they do not like what they see. And blood related or not, the person had their ways, but I've never known them to be evil. I'll leave it right there. So, and see what you have to remember. Again, I'm chronicling, and y'all forgive my sniffling. I keep forgetting to take that allergy pill at night. And then I sleep with my fans going. Y'all forgive my yawning. I apologize. See, seers and other people who realize you have giftings and things, you get alerted. I don't know how your gifts work, but you get alerted to things. So whatever this dream represented is going to be foiled. This foiled, foiled, spoiled, kaput, uh, no, let's say Christianese, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment shall be surely found to be in the wrong. There is a version that says that. Okay, there's a version that actually says that. Because when my New Orleans pastor, when I was still in Christianity, said that scripture like that, I was thinking, you making up stuff, but there was indeed a version that said that. Good morning, good rising to you. Hope you're well. Hope your families are well. All right, now I shared that chronicle, that dream. Uh Let me share another one real quick, because one, you have to know yourself, know your giftings, know how you get communicated with. Okay? And that's a journey, an ongoing journey. Tell you another dream that I had many years ago. Uh, I was laying in bed. Now, this I couldn't tell. I think it was a dream. This one I don't remember if it was a dream or an actual vision. I'm wanting to say it was a dream. I was laying in bed, and I'll say it was a dream. In the dream, I woke up as if I was waking up, like now. At the foot of my bed was a snake as large, a serpent as large as uh, larger than a person would stand tall, like an adult person, thick, large, head standing up at the foot of my bed. I'm laying in bed, and it eases its way, like walking its way around. I'm laying there out around the right side of my bed. Huh? When it got to my face, or by my face, it just leaned over me. And that wasn't it. Now this is, I guess, from the Western world view of snakes, which tends to be evil, scary, or whatever. I do understand that there is an Eastern world view of, or an Eastern part of the world view, that snakes are carriers of wisdom. Even in Egypt, that was the concept of snakes. So what I'm telling you is from a Western mindset viewpoint of the snake. Anyway, it leaned over me. None of these snakes ever bite me. Okay? Foiled again. But it leaned over, and it actually said, but it said this in a certain person's voice. I mean, identical, in a certain person's voice. Then you've heard me speak of certain people, and it may just seem like it's one or two or three. There's different ones that that factor into different things. But the person's voice that came out of this snake was somebody. This is somebody completely different. Okay, and in fact, this person has crossed over and been gone some years now. But in that person's voice, it said, "I can't bite you, but I want you to always think I'm trying." Now I was in college. I'm 57. I was in college when I had that dream. It said in the person's voice, "I can't bite you. I just want you to always think I'm trying." That let me know that an attack was coming from that person whose voice it was. And sure enough, a few weeks later, an event happened that person was behind. And when I went to the person about it, they confirmed it because I went to them in peace. See, because this was an older person from my viewpoint, because I was college age. This would have been an older person, and I went to them peacefully, respectfully. That person went off on me, which let me know that yes, indeed, they did do what was done. That ended up playing out. Okay, so point being, and none of this is for bragging. Like I said, this is a chronicle for myself, and it's also to help other people who are going through similar situations, or maybe your giftings work similarly and you're feeling your way through your giftings. Okay, um, so that's what this is for. But chosen, we get alerted. Okay, chosen, not just called, and you can't do anything about somebody being chosen. I did a lesson on that, trying to change the fact that somebody is a divinely chosen vessel, whether divine is a highly intelligent being that made us, highly intelligent, what's called alien, whatever divine is, they apparently have made some to be gold vessels, some to be silver vessels, some to be bronze, and some to be wood. And some of you called are going to get your feelings hurt and end up moving into a very tiny, tiny apartment located 6 feet beneath the earth if you keep trying. But I mean, hey, I did a lesson on it and I called it a destiny swapping, a study in dumbassness. All right. But so none of this is bragging, but chosen get alerted. And what I like about it is a lot of times we don't have to do anything, especially when one's attacks have been ongoing for so long that the record keeper that that pens the Akashic records, and everybody in the spirit realm is looking around like, this dumbass is still doing this many decades and years and lifetimes later. Oh no, there's nothing that the individual being attacked has to do. I'm at popcorn stage. Nobody likes being spiritually attacked, but I'm not even feeling it. I bet that's making that serpent with the gray whiskers pretty upset. Um, Tell him I said hi, by the way. I'm talking to the nosy people that come by here that are actually working with said person or have. Okay. And I don't know anything, everything, y'all. I'm just saying what I saw in the dream, and that did represent an older man with gray stubble. All right. And I could be wrong, because that's another thing with your giftings. You'll learn to trust your giftings, but that doesn't mean we're always right. Not always. Most of the time, you'll find you are. I've told people things in a chat room, just getting, they said something to me, and I got smart with them saying, "Aren't you late for a meeting?" Just being smart back to them. And it was three of them that were talking about me in the chat. It was one of these manosphere things, and it was three men coming against women that were in the chat. And I told the very one, "Aren't you late for a meeting?" And lo and behold, he was. Honey, I was just playing. And I told my team, my spirit team, that y'all gonna have to let me know, let me in on it when I'm spilling tea. Anywho, you'll get familiar because it's an ongoing process with your giftings. And but we get alerted, chosen get alerted. But I'm at the popcorn phase. Because if it wasn't so sad and evil, it would actually be comical. It's like going to a brick wall and just continually hitting your head. All this stuff we put her through, and she's still standing. And I want to be the chosen one. I'm the chosen one. No, you're not. You have giftings. I'm talking to a certain person right now. You have giftings. Everybody does. But you're not me, and never will be. Not in giftings, not in purpose, not in love, not in destiny. But yeah, we do get alerted. And like I said, once it gets to this phase where a person's been trying so long, we really don't even have to do anything. I'm just kind of paying attention to see what my team tells me they're doing. Because, like I said, some of your bloodline, particular person, is on my side, and they're reporting to me, telling me what's going on and what they're doing. All right. Y'all, it is a beautiful Thursday morning. I'm waking up. It rained last night, I think, here. It did. It did. And, but yeah, I'm just stirring this morning. So y'all have a great day, and be at peace as much as you can. Mind your business, drink your water. We shall talk later.